Even the President of the United States is talking about and reacting to the verdict in the George Zimmerman case.
When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago.
Hello, I'm Gwen Edwards, and welcome to another edition of Our Lives. So what now? Where do we go from here? How do we prevent another Trayvon Martin death? That's what we're talking about today on Our Lives. My guests are Jack Bryant, the president of the Stanford chapter of the NAACP, and attorney Darnell Crosland, who is the president of the Norwalk chapter of the NAACP. Now, at the NAACP National Convention in Orlando, Florida, Attorney General Eric Holder also spoke about the Zimmerman verdict. In particular, Holder said stand your ground laws are contributing to more violence than they are preventing.
We must stand our ground to ensure that our laws reduce violence and take a hard look at laws that contribute to more violence than they prevent.
Now, Attorney Crosland, what is your reaction to the Attorney General's observations?
I was privileged to actually be there. So I was in the audience, and he came to Orlando and spoke with us. He also was with us last year in Houston, Texas. And I think what I took away from this is that he mentioned that even when he was a federal prosecutor, he was profiled walking just to a movie. And what he's talking about now is that Florida has to take a real deep, strong look at this stand your ground law and ask themselves, is it helping or is it hurting? Because obviously the results are inconsistent, and this young man lost his life as a result of it.
And Jack, at the National NAACP Convention, you were there also, and the verdict shift the priorities of the NAACP.
Yes, it did. It put a somber mood over the whole convention.
Because it was so close to where this actually happened.
Especially with the young people. The young people had to be comforted. They wanted to act. And it was the message that was relayed to them was IE, which is intelligence over emotions, to try to calm them down, because they wanted to get into buses and travel down to Sanford 30 miles away and act in regards to the emotions that they were feeling. So we had to really calm them down first, the young people, before and just started thinking intelligently of what our next step should be.
And what should our next step be?
Well, what we did while in Florida, we circulated a petition to get them to reopen a case, a civil rights case against George Zimmerman. As soon as the verdict was read, our leadership went into action, sent out the petition. We had 250,000 signatures within a couple of hours. The next morning, we had 450,000. And then it was announced before Eric Holder gave his address that we had over 1 million signatures. So all of that is going to Eric Holder. So he knows the importance of opening up the case for civil rights action against George Zimmerman.
Now, when I heard the verdict, I thought to myself, you know, this is the Emmett Till case of our generation. And for those who don't know about Emmett Till, please read about this young man's death and how it sparked such a determination in Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and others who started the civil rights movement.
Exactly. And what was powerful to me is when listening to our President Obama speak, when he said that was him 35 years ago, we sent a message to our young people that they can be anything they want to be. And one of those things is the President of the United States. And here is the President of the United States saying he put himself into the shoes of Trayvon Martin. I thought that was a real powerful message.
But more importantly, he said, I have been profiled.
Yes.
And I know as black men, you've had that experience too.
Yes, I have. I have. Like I can say I've been profiled. I learned how to handle it better. When I got older, I learned how to handle it better. But I think if it would have happened to me in my teens, I don't think I would have handled it as well as I would handle it now.
And Darnell, this generation does not understand the need for them to temper their reaction.
That's true. And I'll piggyback on a little bit what Jack said. We had to think about what's our reaction was going to be. We just happened to be sort of serendipitously in Florida at the same time when the verdict came out, the national convention, the 104th convention of the NAACP. So people was wondering, like, why is there something here that we end up in Florida at the same time, and what do we do? So I have to confess to you, Ms. Edwards, I did slip away, and I rented a car and I drove down to Sanford, Florida myself, not as a group, but just myself. I rode into the town, I went to the courthouse, I attended a couple rallies, and I found my way meeting with the police chief of Sanford, Florida, a guy named Cecil Smith, and we talked about this verdict, and I learned a lot from just being there. And I'll give a little heads up. He sort of gave me an agreement to come up and speak at our banquet this year, September 17th, here in Norwalk. So hopefully he can tell the Norwalk community more about what happened there. But I can go on for hours about our conversation with him. One thing I would say is that he pointed out to me that Sanford, Florida is stuck in the 50s, 60s, and some of the people never ever left there. So we don't understand the breadth of what really the life is. It's like a war zone in some of the places. I drove to where the old police station was, that he told me about, and it's dilapidated. It's very poor in these towns. So the tensions that George Zimmerman was talking about, I think, go far beyond what we are seeing. And I think that precipitated what happened here. Because when he got on that call, he was already angry and was already frustrated. And I think he said these punks and these and them. So whatever Attorney General Eric Holder's looking at is race at a part. Now, we don't have to use the word black or white to have race. It's us, them, and these type of things. So we'll find out more in the months to come.
All right, we're going to take a break. But there is so much more to come here on Our Lives. We will continue our conversation about the aftermath of the George Zimmerman verdict, so you stay with us.